Vibrant Living is brought to you by Springwater Insurance Group, teaching you how to buy the best Medicare and supplemental plans for your needs, and Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington, enhancing a person's ability to maintain a life of independence and choice, and Link Transit. Take that first step. Learn how to ride.
Dave Tosch, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. And today I'm with Pete Cappler, who is the travel trainer for Link. And we've invited Della Franz to sit in with us today. I'll talk a little more about Della here as we go. Or maybe she'll talk a lot about herself and the rest of the place. Anyway, you never know with Della. But Pete does a lot of good in our community, let me tell you, because Link Plus is a critical element for our community and the senior center in particular. Many of our members and our visitors come to the senior center by way of Link Plus. Yep. And so, we thought we should spend a little more time on that so the seniors out in our community might become more aware of the services that Link offers for the folks in our community. And I just say that, for instance, if you wanted to come out here for lunch sometime after we get reopened, Link Plus is a really good way to get here for lunch, and they pick you up and take you home afterwards. So, that's right. You want to talk just a little bit more about the Link Plus and
Sure. Yeah, the Link Plus program is designed for those individuals who are unable to use our fixed route buses. It's a door-to-door service, and you schedule your ride just like you would calling a taxi or something like that. We'll pick you up at your house. We'll take you to the senior center. They'll let you know what time they'll pick you up to come home. And like I say, it's door-to-door. And right now, everyone's riding no cost because of the COVID that we've been experiencing. So that's a bonus too. I'll go. There's nowhere for anybody to go right now. But what I do mainly, Dave, is I teach people how to ride that fixed route bus. I teach them that they can get on that bus anytime and go where they need to go. For instance, today, Della and I are gonna ride out to Walmart from here. And so my job is to teach her step by step how to safely and confidently use our bus system to get anywhere they want to. And I do train people to use the Link Plus system because when you're first starting, it's a little confusing. It can be intimidating for some people. So Link started this program, and I think of it as like being a tutor. And so wherever somebody, whatever their skill level is where we start, that's where I start with them. Sometimes it's only one trip, sometimes it's several in a row until they're comfortable and they feel safe traveling by themselves.
I'm here with Della Franz. Been talking to Pete a little bit here about Link, but thought we would get Della to speak a little bit about her experiences with the Link Plus. Before we get into that, though, I must say that Della has been volunteering at the Senior Center for some time, long before I ever even got here, and that was about 8 years ago. So Della is very much appreciated around here. I think her claim to fame is serving milk at lunchtime, and she forewarned me when I got here to watch out, that somebody was going to complain about the color of milk or that it wasn't cold or it was this or it was that. And she was right. And then pretty soon I wasn't the new guy anymore and they just kind of gave up. Yeah. And they just said, well, Della's doing it. She knows what she's doing and nobody's ever gotten sick. So that's where you go, right? No, in all seriousness, the Senior Center runs with volunteers and we can't do it without them. And Della's, I don't know how many days you've missed in 8 years that I've been here, but I could probably count on one hand the number of days that you have missed lunch. And maybe I'm stretching the truth a little bit, but not very often do we miss Della. So.
No, I'm with you here every day. I leave home about 9:30 and I go home about 4:30, and everybody takes a deep breath when they see me get into a vehicle and she's gone.
So I have to
love
laugh.
it here. I love it here.
Well, not only do you help us out at lunchtime, but I think a lot of days you do hang around and play some card games and
Yes,
whatnot. You want to
yes.
talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we have a very good canasta group. We almost outgrew a table room, and in fact, the canasta group meets at the park up until the weather turned cold, and you get very attached to each other. And also Mexican train, play Mexican train, but I love, my favorite is doing the milk. I love doing the milk.
Well, when she says doing the milk, she means doing the milk. She makes the rounds. She doesn't just stand there and pour it into a cup or what have you. She's moving around the room and delivering the milk to the tables. And there again, that's why volunteers are so important and special here is all the little things that we do for our seniors. And so very much appreciated, Della. The other thing I wanted to mention is that you've become somewhat of a celebrity, especially when the movies were playing. How did that come about? When the movie theater had an ad running down there.
I like to sit way up on the top at the movie theaters, and I would walk in and everybody would go. And I had to say, yes, it's me. I came to see the movie.
We're still not sure who made the decision to put you in those ads at the movies,
Well,
but obviously you somehow weaved your way
I
into
got
that.
there.
Yeah.
A star was born. I gave up driving about 4 to 3 years ago. 4 to 3 years, I can't remember how long it's been now. I still have my driver's license. Nobody took my car keys from me. They wouldn't dare. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed because before I learned how to ride Link Plus and the bus system, I had to depend on friends and relatives, and now if I get the urge to go somewhere, I just know what time the bus is going to go by, and I get on it, and away I go. And so I don't have to think, I got to stay home, I don't have a ride. So I really enjoy it. And the drivers are wonderful. They're very wonderful drivers, very caring.
So you've been riding Link for, well, you said when you hung up your car keys.
Yeah.
Since then.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 years now. I've been riding
Well,
Link.
once again, I know that it's an outstanding service to have for our seniors.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
And so thank you for what you do, Pete.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a little bit of in the bus action here pretty soon. So we'll get to watch some of that.
Good, good.
Well, thank you, Pete. Thank you, Della, for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
I think this is going to be good information for our senior population. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, I kind of feel like Mr. Rogers there for a minute. Hi, this is Jim Heinlein, not Mr. Rogers, and I'm an independent agent and owner here at Springwater Insurance Group. And so, in between appointments, I get a chance to take a ride around the building, and what I'm usually thinking about is how this building even got here. And I really appreciate the customers out there in North Central Washington that sent their friends to learn about Medicare from us. And we have 5 offices, but this is our home office here in Wenatchee. And we have about 8 agents that help out. Because as we've grown through your referrals, there's more need for more help. So I've got a team of agents that have done a great job of teaching about Medicare Advantage, Part D drug plans. Also, we're having customers ask us questions about other insurances. Life insurances for seniors, life insurance for their kids. So whatever your insurance questions are, be it Medicare or other insurances, give us a call.
My name's Pete Cappler, and I'm the travel trainer at Link Transit. I used to be a driver for Link, but this job opportunity opened up for me, and I thought it would be ideal. I really like working one-on-one with people, and what I do as a travel trainer is I teach people how to use our bus system safely and with confidence so they can get out there and stay independent as long as they can. That's why Link is there. And today I'm here with my friend Della, and we did a little traveling together, right?
We did,
That's
and
right.
I learned a little bit more.
Did we go over to East Wenatchee for a while? Is that what we did? What was our training?
Today?
No, when we first met.
When
Yeah.
we first met,
Yeah.
yes. You took me all over East Wenatchee, showed me how to get to my favorite restaurant,
Yeah.
and Safeway, and
Yep.
just all over.
All the different places you
Yes,
can go.
Yes,
And-
the shopping center,
Yeah.
everything. Fred Meyer, another favorite place of mine.
Now, travel training is for, you know, when we want to get out there on the bus, but we don't quite know how to make it work yet. And so
Exactly.
we want to make sure you're safe and confident getting where you need to go. So that's why the travel trainer is there, and it's free. It doesn't cost you
Yes.
anything. And I go along with you. I work sort of like a tutor would. I work with every individual where their needs are. And it's a very satisfying job helping people get around town. I have to tell you, it beats working. So Della, the first thing we're going to do today for our first trip is we're going to get on the number 5 bus here, and we're going to ride it around Home Depot and Walmart, and then we're going to just go ahead and get off right back over here on the other side of the street.
Okay.
And what I want that to be is just an introduction to what it feels like to be on the bus, and just show you how easy it is to get on and off the bus, and that's where we're going to start. It's just a first step along the way. Okay, does that sound good?
Sounds like fun.
Okay, let's do it.
At my age, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Because you actually get to meet pretty much the same people if you ride at about the same time every day.
That's right.
Like-
You'll see the same drivers and the same people going the same places.
Yes. Because I made friends with one of the women just to find out later she was going with one of the guys at the table where she was having lunch, and they ended up getting married.
Oh, no kidding.
And they invited me to the wedding.
Oh, really? Wow. I know a lot of seniors don't use mobile devices. And so we still teach the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
We can look at the bus schedule, and we can look at the times, and so you can plan your trip ahead of time, you know. And like what I did with us is I printed out an itinerary that you can see step by step, just like a travel agent would, telling you where you would go. Well, let's take a look here at the number 5. See what this one says here. This one says it's about 4 minutes away right now. So if I want to, I'm going to click on this button right here, and I'm going to say send us a text 2 minutes away. Well, let's see here, 2 minutes. We'll see if this works. Done. And I'm going to say, please send me a text, and I'll put in my phone number here, which is 509-670-2904. That's this phone. Okay, and I'm going to say done, and we'll see. We're going to get a little beep when it's coming. And that's convenient. That's convenient too, because if you're in your home and you know, okay, it takes me 4 minutes to walk to that bus stop, if I get a text 10 minutes ahead of time, I know exactly when I can leave and still safely catch the bus on time.
I've noticed, Beans, it stops right there.
Yeah.
And I used to live on the side facing 5th Street.
Yeah.
I mean, very seldom do they run late. They're real close to, right on schedule.
Yeah. And they will sometimes. They'll never run ahead of time. That's the trick.
Yeah.
That's why we have those time points on our schedule. We don't want to do what's called running hot and miss a bus stop because we got there too fast.
Yeah.
And so, just like regular traffic, sometimes you're going to get slowed down. Sometimes that driver might need to pick up 1 or 2 passengers who are using a mobile device, like a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a couple minutes to strap those people
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So that's just the way it is. But you should know, and everyone should know, that we'll never get there early.
Yeah.
We'll either get there on time or a little bit behind, but usually they're running pretty good on time.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah. High density traffic during 5 o'clock rush hour is going to make a difference. But
Yeah.
we try to build those things into our schedule.
Well, we didn't have to do that because starting about 3:15, 3:30.
It's true.
Try to get on Wenatchee Avenue.
I know it's busy.
You got to know where your lights are.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Della, you can see that that's the number 5 bus because of the reader board on top.
Yeah.
This bus stop only has one bus that stops here, but some of them have more than that, so you always want to double check to make sure it's the right one. Okay, we want to make sure no one's coming off first. Okay, there you go.
Route 5.
Okay, he's going to lower the bus for us a little bit. All right.
Passengers are required to cover their nose and mouth with a mask or facial covering.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Della, do you want to sit down here?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's us. We're that little blue dot traveling down the street. I can zoom out a little bit. You can see us moving in real time there up Maple Street. And it's going to turn up here on Western. There it is on the purple line is the bus route.
Oh, okay.
And every one of those dots is a different bus stop.
Oh, okay.
So let's say we wanted to get off over here on Pershing Street.
One day I was walking there just past the clinic there on Cheland, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I fell there. And the more I tried to get up, the more I kept falling.
Okay.
And people were actually getting off work and they'd look, wouldn't come and help. And actually a bus driver stopped and got out and helped me get up, and she insisted that she take me home. And I said, no, now that you got me up, I just live around the corner,
Okay.
And she says, no, I'm going to take you home. It gave me a lot of confidence about getting on the bus, getting off the bus, and how to get to my favorite spots. And it just makes me feel very independent. I don't have to depend on friends or bother people or my family. If I want to go shopping, I know exactly how to get there and what time to catch the bus back.
Yeah.
Hello, Dave Tosch, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and today I'm with one of our board members, Darrell Dickeson. He's also chair of our Community Outreach Committee, and over the past year, Darrell's been working with the Aging Mastery Program, and there's quite a little background that we wanted to talk about today, so people better understand what the program's all about, how it's evolved with us, and how important it is, we think, for the community to realize what a good resource it is. And so, Darrell, maybe you can just give us a little bit of the background associated with how we've gotten to the point where we've reached so far.
Well, even before I got involved in the Aging Mastery Program, Dave, as you recall, I got involved with the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center as a volunteer about 7 years ago, about the time you came as the director. So we've had an opportunity to work on a number of projects over the years. And one of my interests in seniors is the fact that I had a lot of older people in my life when I grew up. My great-grandparents, I had 5 generations living on both sides of my parents' families, my mother's and my father's side. So we had a picture in the Wenatchee World years ago that says 5 generations twice. And we had all of us there. So I had a lot of older people in my life that were very important to me. And I also got involved with aging and adult care of Central Washington for the last several years, doing volunteer work there as well. And during that time, I heard about this program called the Aging Mastery Program. And Aging and Adult Care was thinking about taking it on as something that they wanted to offer. But because of their geographical area that they have to cover, over 6 counties, a lot of geographical miles, and it would be difficult for them to really administer a program like that. And at the time, I should back up and say, the program's changed a little. The Aging Mastery Program has been going on for a number of years nationally. It was a program developed by the National Council on Aging, and up until recently, it was primarily a live program. And what that means is people showed up together in a group, and so when Aging and Adult Care didn't think they wanted to pursue this program, they suggested that I contact the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, because we are, the largest senior activity center in eastern Washington and one of the biggest in the state. So I contacted you, and actually became a board member about the same time. And so it just sort of fit hand in glove. And so in February of 2020, we started our first live program. We had 22 participants that were primarily our members. The program is 10 sessions long at an hour and a half each. So 15 hours of actual in-person study. And the original program, when this is sort of the main book or workbook that we hand out in materials, has 10 different sections, and we would invite a subject matter expert based on the subject we were covering that day to come in and to make a presentation, but more importantly to answer specific questions that participants had. And so we started that in the month of February and ended our program on March the 6th. And I think we closed down
March 9th.
March 9th. So things have changed. So now instead of being able to get together in person, the program also has something called the Aging Mastery Playbook. And the Aging Mastery Playbook is what they call a self-study program. And so because we can't get together in person, we're now trying to make this program, the self-study program, more available to people in the community. And I think to date, we've distributed something like over 300 in some of these kits. And we have several more hundred that we'd like to distribute. And so the self-study program is basically the same thing that contained in the live program, with a little differences. It's not an hour and a half long. It's, I don't even know how many chapters, but it's divided into 6 different parts rather than 10 different parts. So some of the self-study topics are sort of combined together. But they're basically the same. I'll take a look at sort of the curriculum here of what's in the program, and talks things about exercise, sleep, healthy eating and hydration, financial fitness, which is a lot of times we don't think of enough as we get older, advanced planning, relationships, how important relationships are, and again, things like the COVID-19 situation have affected our ability to get together socially and nurture those same relationships. So it's really important that we figure out a way to continue to interact and support one another. Falls prevention, that is a big issue for those of us getting older. I can remember a day when I didn't worry too much about balance and trip hazards and falling and that type of thing, but I think about that quite a bit as I age myself. Medication management. We had the director of the Costco pharmacy come in and talk to us as our guest speaker for medication management. And there's some really important things that we need to know about not mixing the wrong meds together, and how to dispose of medications, things of that nature. And then finally, community engagement, which is again hampered a little bit today compared to what normal circumstances would indicate. But community engagement is the way that seniors can get more involved by volunteering and giving back to the community. And I know here at the Senior Center, we use a lot of volunteers, and we're not able to do that same thing today the way we used to. And so community engagement is not only receiving, but also giving back. It was all part of it.